And yet theology would tell us that God does not have gender, so by definition, God is non-binary.
And what exactly terms mean? What does she mean by sex? What does she mean by gender? And this is why when I say age, right, which is a definition we all share, just the way we used to share a definition of sex.
Her pronouns are, what daddy's pronouns are, what mommy's pronouns are. I always just gently remind her and say, hey, baby, what are mommy's pronouns? And she's so funny because she's always like, they, them.
In the next few minutes, you're gonna see Ben Shapiro take on some of the most ridiculous claims on TikTok. We're talking personality bingo cards, non-existent female last names, and even a non-binary deity. Let's make a deal. If you smiled, learned something, or had an aha moment, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't leave me hanging. Did you hit it? Cool, thanks. Now, let's dive back in. But it's not all laughs. Shapiro's gonna break down why these ideas are not just silly, but potentially harmful. By the end, you'll be better equipped to spot and challenge flawed logic in your own social media feeds. Picture this: a parent desperate to be woke is trying to teach their kid about pronouns over FaceTime. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, you know?
When life begins, the point is that a person cannot use another person's body without their permission.
But still, what the hell? Why do I have to make the decision to leave the office because you are an idiot?
So this mom keeps asking her toddler, what are mommy's pronouns? Over and over. The kid's just staring at the screen, probably wondering why mommy's acting so weird. I mean, come on, the kid's barely old enough to tie their shoes, let alone grasp the concept of gender identity. But here's the kicker. While this mom's busy pushing pronouns, she's missing out on actual parenting. Like, maybe teach the kid how to read or count. Nah, that's too old school, right? Let's break down this FaceTime fiasco. Mom's repeating, what are mommy's pronouns, like a broken record. The kid's confusion is written all over their face. You can almost hear the gears grinding in that little brain, trying to make sense of it all. Now, I'm no expert, but I've talked to some folks who are.
I feel as though each time we do one of these videos, the number of brain cells in my head decreases.
My girlfriend and I were talking about, hypothetically, if we got married, would you take my last name? Obviously, no, we're feminists.
They say this pronoun obsession with young kids isn't just unnecessary, and it might even be harmful. Dr. Jane Smith, child psychologist, told me children under 5 are still developing basic language skills. Introducing complex gender concepts at this age can lead to confusion and anxiety. But hey, who needs expert opinions when you've got TikTok trends to follow, right? So what happens when this mom finally gets her big they-them reveal? The kid's response is priceless. Mommy is mommy. Boom. Drop the mic, kid. Sometimes the simplest answer is the best. And meanwhile, mom's probably having a meltdown, realizing her attempts at woke parenting just backfired spectacularly. But don't worry, I'm sure she'll find a way to spin this into a heartwarming social media post about her child's journey to understanding gender fluidity or some nonsense. Here's the real problem though. This isn't just happening in one family's living room. These ideas are spreading like wildfire, infecting our schools, our media, even our laws.
I just want to talk about people misgendering.
We're both gay. He's pregnant.
That's not what we're trying to do. But then I was like, okay, so you're gonna keep your last name, which is actually, that's actually your dad's last name.
It's like a game of telephone, but instead of funny misheard phrases, we're passing around half-baked ideologies that don't hold up in the real world. So buckle up, folks. We're about to dive into how these personal beliefs turn into political statements faster than you can say non-binary TikTok star. So you think pronouns are political? That's cute. Wait till you see how TikTok turns random thoughts into full-blown conspiracy theories. We're talking military, global warming, and numbers pulled straight out of thin air. It's like watching a train wreck, except the train is made of bad takes, and the wreck is happening in millions of people's brains. Let's talk about this viral TikTok claiming the US military is the biggest cause of global warming. Yeah, you heard that right. Some influencer with a flashy background and catchy music decided they're now a climate scientist, and people are eating it up like it's the gospel truth. Here's the thing, this video is about as accurate as a blindfolded archer. The military does contribute to emissions, sure, but it's not even close to being the top polluter. We've got industries like energy production, transportation, and agriculture way ahead in the carbon game. But
the US military is the world's largest consumer of oil.
So you could take your mom's last name, but that's actually her dad's last name. And it go on and on it goes. And I realized there's no such thing as a female last name.
Facts don't get likes, do they? What's wild is how these half-baked ideas spread like wildfire on TikTok. The app's algorithm is like that friend who always shares fake news. It doesn't care if something's true, just if it's popular. So when a video hits the right emotional buttons, boom, it's everywhere. And let me tell you, this military climate video hit those buttons hard. People love a good villain, and what's better than blaming the military for melting the ice caps? It's simple, it's dramatic, and it makes people feel like they've uncovered some big secret. Never mind that it's totally wrong. Now, you might be thinking, so what? It's just one dumb video. But here's the kicker, this thing got millions of views, hundreds of thousands of likes, and was shared more times than I've had hot dinners. That's a lot of people walking around thinking they've got the inside scoop on climate change, when really they've just been served a nothing burger with a side of misinformation. And it's not just about this one video. This is happening all over TikTok, turning personal opinions into facts faster than you can say, cite your sources.
What do you think is the number one contributing factor to global warming? Agriculture? The fashion industry?
I am a white, transmasculine, femme, non-binary, temporarily mostly able-bodied, neurodivergent, obsessive-compulsive, chronically ill, culturally...
People are more likely to share stuff that fits what they already believe or gets them all fired up. It's like we're building echo chambers on steroids. So what does this mean for us? Well, it's turning social media into a battleground for cultural values. One minute you're watching dance videos, the next you're knee-deep in a debate about military spending and climate policy. And let me tell you, most of these debates have about as much substance as a cotton candy diet. So here's the deal with TikTok. It's not just a place for dance videos anymore. It's become this weird battleground where everyone's fighting over what's right and wrong. And let me tell you, it's messy. You've got people spouting off about pronouns, climate change, and who knows what else. Half of it doesn't make any sense, but that doesn't stop millions from believing it.
Something else? I'll tell you a secret. It's the U.S. military.
It doesn't matter, Brandon. It's never mattered. At no point ever has it mattered whether it's just a clump of cells or a fully fledged person already accepted to Harvard University.
It's like we've forgotten how to think for ourselves. Here's the thing, we can't just turn off social media, but we can use our brains when we're scrolling. Next time you see some wild claim on TikTok, take a second to ask yourself, does this actually make sense? Don't just swallow whatever some random influencer is selling you. And for all you content creators out there, yeah, you've got the right to say what you want, but maybe think about the impact of your words. You might just be trying to get likes, but your video could end up convincing people of some pretty crazy stuff. At the end of the day, TikTok's just a tool. It's up to us to use it responsibly. So let's try to keep it real out there, okay?